This is just an interesting one. It's about a song that was a #1 hit in 1965 with a song title that has two totally different meanings. One is a meaning of devotion, and the other is a meaning of dominance. My name's Phil Yale, and this is Unfiltered. So the characters in this tale are Sonny and Cher. That's right, Sonny and Cher. In the early 60s, Sonny was kind of an aspiring songwriter, struggling songwriter, and he was what I would call a studio rat. He would just hang out in music recording studios doing miscellaneous things, and ultimately he worked his way up to be the assistant for Phil Spector. Yes, Phil Spector. Cher was also trying to make her name in the music business. She was 11 years younger than Sonny, and she did get some backup vocal work on a couple of great songs. Be My Baby by the Ronettes and You've Lost That Lovin' Feeling by the Righteous. Sonny and Cher, of course, they were a thing. They were a married couple. In 65, a Sonny Bono song called I Got You, Babe went all the way to #1. Not only in the U.S., but in multiple countries. What followed were 7 more top 40 hits, so by the end of 1971, they had amassed 8 top 40 hits, and they parlayed that into a TV show on the CBS network called the Sonny and Cher Comedy Hour. And all of Cher's efforts associated with that was run through a company called Cher Enterprises. Cher Enterprises was a company that was set up by Sonny and Sonny's attorney. Cher tended to defer business matters to Sonny. You know, she trusted Sonny. I mean, he said, I got you, babe, right? Well, it turns out that deferral would be a very costly mistake for Cher. The show was very popular. On a weekly basis, it would have like 30 million different viewers, and Cher was unquestionably the star of the show. Her voice, her fashion, her humor. Yeah, it was called the Sonny and Cher Comedy Hour, but it was really the Cher Hour. Problem was, Sonny didn't want to share anything, as evidenced by Cher Enterprises. Cher found out through her then boyfriend, David Geffen, that Cher Enterprises was owned 95% by Sonny and 5% by Sonny's attorney, and Cher owned 0. She basically was an employee for that entity that controlled where she worked, who she worked with, and how much money she was paid. She was on a salary, and she did get 3 weeks vacation. Cher was very disappointed about this arrangement, approached Sonny to get it changed, and he said no. And then he filed for divorce. The divorce came, and then right around 75, there was a marriage settlement that basically said going forward, Cher would get 50%. She would get 50% going forward, but not looking back. In 1998, Sonny Bono dies in a tragic skiing accident. His estate is controlled by his wife, Mary. In 2016, her legal team filed what is called, I've got to look it up here, termination rights. They invoked termination rights, some type of a copyright provision that allowed artists to claw back and get publishing rights decades later. That's what they invoked. And in 2021, the legal team advised Cher they were no longer going to pay her any more money, even though that was what was agreed to in the marriage settlement in 1975. This is like 50 years later. Anyway, Cher sued, and in federal court in 2024, Cher won. Case over, right? Nope. Apparently, Mary Bono's legal team filed an appeal. It's still up in the air. Some 60 years after this nice little song, "I Got You, Babe," Sonny Bono can say, "No, I got you. I got you, babe." You know, in the 1960s and 70s, every song we listened to was on vinyl. Every vinyl record has got grooves, and some of those grooves, yes, some of those grooves have hidden tales just waiting to be spun. Let's spin them together. My name is Phil Yale, and this is Unfiltered.